Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Bites Weekly Show. I am your host, DC, and joining me tonight is supposed to be Matt Lindsay from Quad Pro Quo, but he is late, so hopefully he just comes in like a wrecking ball here in just a minute in this chat and says hi. We have a cool show for you tonight. Anyway, we meaning me and maybe Matt if he gets in here. There's lots to talk about. A lot of stuff happened this past week. A lot of stuff I want to talk about. But let's start the show by helping Josh with his existential crisis. He just had the realization in chat that Honey Boo Boo is 18 years old. Oh, there went my video. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Let me try this again. I'll bring it back up. Here we go. Oh, there he is. Here he goes. I can't hear you, Matt. You have to change your audio input. Anyway, so Josh says Honey Boo Boo is 18 years old and it's breaking his brain. I'm freaking out over here, guys. Time isn't real. I mean, life is a simulation. I think that's pretty much confirmed at this point, right? Like, pretty much everything after Harambe's death just made life a simulation for sure. So blame the Cincinnati Zoo for Honey Boo Boo being 18. That is insane, though, by the way. Josh, didn't you also say that she has no money? Pretty crazy. Matt, can you hear me, buddy? No. Let's see. Bobby just came in the chat like a wrecking ball. Been subbed for 6 months in a row. My guy, thank you so much. He just came in to say, just wanted to say Matt sucks. Well, thank you for that. Clearly he does too, because he can't figure out his audio. Any other existential crises you guys want to talk about while we're waiting for Matt to figure out his audio? Josh says, yeah, she's still on the air on another reality show, and her mom told her she had no savings for college. That's brutal, man. That is brutal. Just a messed up situation. Bobby says Quid Pro Audio is a no-go. He didn't even get quad right. Let's see here. I know Matt didn't see X-Men 97 yet, and that's on our show notes. So let me go ahead and open the show by talking about X-Men 97. So I only saw episode 1. I did not watch the other episode. Because I'm watching it with my son, and we didn't have time to do so. What a great opening episode, though. I can't wait to watch episode 2. It is unbelievably surreal that I get to watch that show with my son because I see myself in him being glued to the character and glued to those glued to the TV show, just like I was when I was his age, watching the X-Men 90 show for the first time. Just awesome stuff. The animation is super amazing. The first episode also had one of the coolest moments, and it's getting all sorts of love. I won't ruin it for anyone, but Cyclops does some real cool shit. So yeah. Let's see. Bobby says Seinfeld sucks. Oh, there you are. You're there.
Oh,
Audio.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Please continue talking about X-Men 97 and how you were awesome with your son. And also, Bobby, go hang out with your boy McQuillan and talk about how Avatar's blue arrow was the wrong blue for the color. God damn it.
He also said Seinfeld sucks. Fuck you, Matt. Say anything and I'll take it back. So I guess he's gonna take it back.
I love you, Dakota. You're my favorite. Please take that back, sweetheart.
Seinfeld's goated. Also, Josh says, give your kid the full experience and wait until Saturday morning to watch it with him. Ooh, that's a good call. Might get some cereal and eat it with him too. That sounds sick.
If I could interrupt there,
yeah.
Part of the reason why I wasn't allowed to watch X-Men on its original run was because I wasn't allowed to watch cartoons then because I had to go do chores and do work.
Yeah.
And be a normal I guess not being succumbing to. I literally was not allowed to watch cartoons when X-Men, the original X-Men, was on, unless I was at my grandparents' house or I was at my cousin's house.
Well,
So
actually, I was allowed to watch it, but we didn't have Fox, so I had to watch it at my grandparents' house because they were the only ones that had it. So I would like binge it every time, it came on the TV at their place. Like if they had reruns or whatever, I would just watch it every time. So I went back and rewatched them all a few years ago.
but yeah, like literally, I want to at least, because I only got to see bits and pieces of it. Like I pretty much saw the Shi'ar arc, like the Dark Phoenix into the
Yeah,
Shi'ar. I mean, the Shi'ar into the Phoenix arc,
yeah,
and then the Dark Phoenix arc. I saw Morph get upset. I saw the thing that the meme was, like Wolverine sitting there looking at that
yeah.
picture
The
and being
picture, yeah,
sad. But yeah, I want to give it I want to give it like my full immersion before I get into the TV show. Yeah.
makes sense. But that's a good call, Josh. I might have to watch it with him tomorrow morning and get a bowl of cereal. That'd be so cool. Yeah, just a phenomenal opening episode. Can't wait to watch episode 2 tomorrow, and then episode 3 comes out Wednesday, I believe, next week. So it has flying, like, beautiful animation, like I said before, and also it's getting
It could have been better, just saying from what I've heard.
it's getting full marks from most people.
Just remember what they took from us.
Oh well, you know, honestly, for like 2D animation, the way they're
I
doing it,
know.
it's cool.
The female body in the mid
Rogue.
to late 90s is going to be lost on this current generation.
Yeah. Speaking of Rogue, Bobby says Matt's mom saw that episode with Rogue's huge thick ass and started making up busy work so Matt couldn't fall in love with the cartoon. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
She was like, you can only watch Batman. Batman, all those women had stick asses and pointy tits. That's
Yeah.
what they said.
That's what women are. Bro, you mentioned that meme, that the Wolverine meme. My favorite one is the one where it shows what he's looking at. It's that picture of Rogue when she's laying down.
My favorite one was the personal one. It was one of the first times that I made a meme myself. It was one of the first times that because I am a bowler, and
Yeah.
sometimes when bowling balls are left into conditions, like it's too cold,
Yeah.
might even be too hot, bowling balls can crack.
Oh, for sure.
My brother had a bowling ball that was one of his favorite ones. He had a great average off of it. I don't think it was one that he bowled one of his 300s off of, but
Whoa, 300, huh? Serious bowler.
like he missed it so much. So I sent him the meme of Wolverine, like
Of the ball. Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
Speaking of amazing cartoons, Invincible, the first episode came out last week. Second episode's out now, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I'm like it's funny, like back, harkening back to the B shell. Because normally I talk to either Katsorin or
Yeah.
Dakota's best friend Josh McQuillan about Invincible, and I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot that it came out last week because, I was so ready for I was prepping and all that stuff for Allie's birthday party this weekend. I was like, I totally forgot that it came out.
Yeah, well, it wasn't marketed very good, to be honest, and like the huge gap between episodes, and there's only 3 episodes in this section of it too. It kind of sucks, man. I wish they just would have waited and released them all like, weekly now when they're actually done with it.
And I think I need to read it again. I feel like, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they kind of they've already gone off book. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I get that. With the whole Robert Kirkman thing with the The Walking Dead, but this show or this series, it writes itself. All you have to literally do is just
Animate it.
follow the series. Like,
yeah, I feel like that's the way it is with most book to screen adaptations. It feels like the script's already there, just write it. But you know, funny enough, I was reading Oshinoko, the 5th issue the other day. Fantastic manga if anyone gets a chance to read it. And it was like it does such a good job of explaining certain things you don't really think about in showbiz. And one of the things it was explaining is like how execs just like completely like they completely change things and why they do it. It's like not everything's going to translate perfectly to the screen, and so they take liberties so it makes sure it's appealing for a mass audience instead of just a niche group of audience members. And I'm like, I guess that sort of makes sense, but still, yeah, like especially stuff like this feels like, come on. I didn't read Invincible. I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, but according to KVD Kitsoren, she said that it did go off book a bit for sure.
Yeah, no, she and I, because like we both read it, I feel like almost together, like, and just reading it, and I'm sitting there, and she's sitting there. If she was here, we'd be like looking at each other vicariously through the video.
Yeah,
we'd be like, they've already fucked it up. Or I feel like they had like. I'm not saying they fucked it up, but I mean, it's just like, I'm like, really?
I get what you mean. I will say though, that opening episode was phenomenal. It ends on 3 cliffhangers, and I am amped to watch this week's episode. So,
oh yeah, with the stuff
spoilers, and things. Yeah, stuff, the things, lots of stuff and things happening. But yeah, speaking of legendary shows, I know you're caught up, Matt. We won't spoil anything for people because I know a lot of people are waiting until the series completes. But Shogun, man, I am going to say it right now. If it ends in a great way, like it's going to be a one shot, right? It's only one season.
Oh yeah, well,
8 episodes, right?
It's I think it's 8 to 10 episodes, but this is technically part of an anthology series, mind you.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like Fargo.
Okay.
All right. You know, like how Fargo is, where like the next season will continue,
seen it, but I know about it. Yeah.
It's basically a white dude. I mean, the books were just saying it basically was just a white dude writing about Asian history.
Okay.
So Shogun is like the Japanese aspect of it.
Gotcha.
And then I think his next book is Taipei, which I'm terribly sorry to anyone that knows anything about Asian history. I don't even remember where Taipei is. I just remember that as a Microsoft like tile game on Microsoft Word. So that's a whole different thing, but it totally takes away. Like Shogun is one aspect, Taipei is another one. I think there's one that's set in pre-communist China.
Oh.
Like it's like a fictional anthology of just
history.
Yeah, okay. It's just
Well, anyway, I was talking to Dan at dinner tonight, and I was like, truly, if it ends well, I could see this being a top 5 show ever for me. There's nothing I don't love about it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And like I keep saying, like you guys, like I told you and I told everybody else in the B Shell, I've read this book, so I know how it ends, and I won't say anything.
Sure.
But like I am loving it. How it's done. This is going to be like one of those shows where I will prefer the show over the book, because the book is always like the character. No spoilers here. The character Blackthorn. You know the poor man. He looks he looks like a poor man's Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead, and he sounds like a poor man's Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders, because he's like, oh yes, I totally know what's just going on here. But like, literally, just imagine if the whole show was just people sitting there and saying, oh well, Lord Toranaga-san did this, and then Lord Ishido-san did this, and that's why this is happening right now. We're relaying this all to you.
Oh, yeah, I see. But yeah, man, literally, like, what a great episode the last one was. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, the with the earthquake.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And
It was, again, no, I'm totally for you. Like, FX is, aside from HBO, FX is literally the greatest cable thing out there right now. That's
for
making
sure
quality TV shows.
They're putting some good stuff out there. I'm so excited, man. Like, this is a show, and I don't do this often with TV shows. This is a show I'll definitely go back and watch. I will watch it again.
Oh yeah,
more than once.
I'm already saving it for like, because like we Morgan said it in the B Shell yesterday. He was like, how come nobody's talking about it? It's because we're all watching it on different schedules. Like, I have to sit there and I
Right.
have to watch Vanderpump Rules in the Valley, and then I have to watch Top Chef the next day, so I can't watch it until Thursday.
Right.
But literally once it's over, I'm going to be with Allie. I'm going to be like, you are watching this.
I need Mariah to watch it too, because she won't, because it's all the subtitles, and like, she just doesn't. She's like, I'd rather just read, and I'm like, yeah, but it's better.
I can send her the book if she wants to get like hit with basically a book that is thicker than the Bible.
Jesus.
I'm looking at it right now
Okay.
at my library over here.
Nice.
But like, she'd be better off just watching the show.
Yeah, word.
It's
but yeah, I couldn't recommend it enough. I hopefully everyone, if you're waiting till it finishes, which is there's only 3 episodes left, so if you're waiting till it finishes, you'll be doing that soon. Man, I can't wait for everyone to talk about it. It's so fucking good. Josh says executive meddling, sometimes it works, sometimes they fuck it up.
that's fair.
Absolutely true.
I mean, that's why we've been waiting so long for the Acolyte, and we got the Squid Game guy in the Padawan room, and we got a red lightsaber, and everybody and their mother thinks it's Revan. It's not Darth Revan.
It's not even the same timeline.
Exactly. It's the High Republic. It's not the Old Republic.
High Republic is well after the Old Republic.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is like set 100 years before Phantom Menace.
Yeah. So like,
Yoda is alive. Yoda could is in this world.
At best, the only way, and I mean, because we all know how Disney loves a tie-in. At best, we're gonna get a Jedi Knight Yoda. So he might have like, not my hairline, but Dustin's hairline as a Jedi, and sit there wielding the lightsaber.
Watch him; he'll have like some luscious locks.
He'll look like a little green Chris Hemsworth.
I bet they do
or
throw
Jason
him in
Momoa.
there. Yeah, Jason Momoa. I bet. No.
I will fight you. I will.
Talking about Acolyte though, there's people that like. Apparently it's getting killed online reception of the trailer, and I don't really understand why. Like, I think, apparently it's gonna be like a detective type thing where the High Republic people try to find out who this person is that's killing Jedi members. It happens to be the Acolyte, I guess. I don't know what people want. Like, I think it's great that this is the first thing we've gotten on screen from the High Republic, which is awesome. It's completely disconnected from the Skywalker trilogy. Like, it's finally like we get some real Star Wars.
The only, like, literally we couldn't even get the Mando separated from that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I originally I thought the Mando was going to be Skywalker separated,
Yeah.
but lo and behold, I mean, and then of course the greatest scene, one of the greatest scenes of the series was the Skywalker tie-in.
It was.
But
But like, I think Dan mentioned this. We were talking about it earlier too. He's like, I bet anything they're going to mention the prophecy in it. Like, no, I'd put money on it, and I agree. I bet they do, just because they can't fucking help themselves.
but you know what? A prophecy can be thousands of years old because just look at the Bene Gesserit and putting it into a separate universe. Look at the Bene Gesserit and Muad'Dib. That could mean anyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to mean anybody. But
that meme, by the way.
but I mean, I'm all for a non-Skywalker canon Star Wars.
Dude, there's so much stuff from the extended universe that like doesn't even like mention the Skywalkers. But
also, I feel like part of the reason why they're trying to force the High Republic on us, because like I read at least 2 of the books, and the books were like,
they're pretty drab, man. I'm not big on them.
But I feel like they just don't also want to give Timothy Zahn any credit.
I know.
They'll be like, yeah, we put you in Rebels and we put you in Ahsoka, so we'll leave it at that. But we're trying to do our own thing over here where all our Jedi are wearing sepia tone, and the one looks like the one main Jedi looks like the 13th Doctor, which that's a trailer if we can talk about if you want to.
Well, you can, but I know nothing about that universe, so.
Well, I mean, it literally did just drop today.
Okay.
But there is a new Doctor Who trailer that just came out for the newest season with who is considered the 15th Doctor. Okay. I don't know. Did you or Mariah watch Sex Education on Netflix?
No.
Oh yeah, it's this British show about like preteens like discovering all their it's
genitals.
It's basically American Pie, but
okay. British.
But with like better and not terrible.
Listen, the first American Pie is hilarious. I'll die on that.
Well, yeah, it's hilarious, but like this one's like it has more gravitas to it, is what I'm saying. It's not like. But the one character and when actually no, my wife was the one that told me that he's going to be the next Doctor, and she was like, yeah, oh yeah, the guy from the show Sex Education. I'm like, what's his name? And she was like, well, at first she said Ncuti, and then she found out that it's pronounced Ncuti Gatwa. And then I saw him on the 60th anniversary when the previous one regenerated into him. Oh God, we don't have enough time to talk about that sort of stuff.
Okay, let me just ask. So, as a Doctor Who fan, did the trailer meet your expectations? Like, are you excited about it?
I am excited for it because the guy that originally ran. Because the show's been on since the 60s.
Sure.
And what got me into it was the guy that is now running the show.
Okay.
Again, like he was the one that rebooted it with Christopher Eccleston in 2005, and that was the thing that got. Yeah, that was when it got, and it was and then he was the one that brought David Tennant in. Right. And made it into this thing again.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm excited for it, but then also, I mean, I'm still 70% excited for it because like Dakota and I were talking about it earlier. He sent me a bunch of messages like, what do I need to get caught up? Like kind of like how I am when I talk to you and him about anime or manga.
Sure. Yeah.
But I was like, well, you got to do this. You got to watch this and you got to watch this. And then I was even like, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love the show and as much as I love the 60th anniversaries, I was so annoyed. I was a little annoyed about how the special effects look now because
Oh,
they got Disney money now. Because the
uh,
thing that made Doctor Who so cool was because it was campy.
practical effects and stuff.
Well, I mean, not even practical effects. It was like cheesy
Oh,
effects.
I see. Okay, yeah.
So now they got Disney money.
But it's
They
in a level that's endearing. I got you. Yeah, yeah.
Now they got Disney effects, and it looks. They're trying to make it look like real, like some Star Wars shit. And
Gotcha.
I'm like, that's, well, I appreciate it, but that's not Doctor Who. If you get what I mean.
I feel you. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I definitely get it. It feels the same like a movie that will never age poorly and is in my top 10 ever is Jurassic Park. And you use the practical effects in that, and like they tried to get all CGI like in the later installments, and it just looks
But
terrible.
no, literally, I have said literally they peaked. Well, no, the second one, Lost World was on par.
It was, yeah.
But
Underrated.
literally, they
Yeah.
never did anything better than the first movie.
Yeah. No, 100%. And like
And
Star Wars is the
no,
same way.
no CGI will make Jurassic Park better to me than the
The
first one.
animatronics. Yeah, man. And it's just great writing too, right? It's just hard to beat. So
Yeah, it was all because it was all they were all based on. I mean, technically, both the first two were based off of books by Michael Crichton.
yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that I'm not that probably aren't gonna age well, the Beetlejuice trailer came out.
Oh, speaking of Jurassic Park, because I sent you that GIF. Did I send you that GIF? I literally sent
Probably.
this GIF. I sent this GIF to everyone that I like to talk to about nerdy stuff. I basically sent a message and like, so hey, I watched the Beetlejuice trailer, and then I sent the GIF of Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, where I was like, yeah, your scientists were too preoccupied with whether or not they should, or I
Yeah,
mean,
you
if they
sent it to me.
could, but
Yeah.
they weren't too busy on whether or not it. Oh, it looks terrible. I no.
It's a hard no for me. And I love the first one,
Exactly.
first of all.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%.
And Mariah, my wife, it's one of her favorite movies, and she said she got chills, and I don't know how. Like, to me, it just looks like it reminds me of whenever they tried to like go in again on the Halloween franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it reminds me of, where it's just like, why is this being made?
For me, as much as I want to say how much I hate Tim Burton for doing practical effects doing CGI over practical effects, this is one of those movies where I was like, no, you should do practical effects because literally we just saw the best part of your first movie, Michael Keaton,
Yeah.
as Beetlejuice, but they put him all in makeup,
Yeah.
and because he's 40 years older, he looks like ass.
Yeah.
He is literally supposed to be a ghost that does not
Doesn't
age.
Yeah.
This is something that should be the de-aging thing.
Yeah, you should
know,
actually use CGI in this instance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But-
but even outside of that, like, okay, even if Michael Keaton aside, because I'm sure he'll be great because it's Michael Keaton, he's just a really good fucking
Exactly.
actor, right?
Yeah, Michael Keaton's the best.
Like
He was the best part of the Oscars this year.
he was.
Well, I mean,
that
he
was amazing.
part of the best part of the Oscars.
That was amazing, dude.
There's my Batman. It's not even your Batman, Arnold. Get out of here.
I would have
Danny's Batman.
Yeah, it's true. I want to talk about that here in a second about the Oscars, but no, like it looks almost like a Disney movie, dude. Like a Disney TV movie.
It literally looked like the shit that he did on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, on the TV show.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm sorry. Like I
Actually, the
like
chick
people were
looked
like,
like
well,
her a little bit.
people were like, well, give it a chance. They'll just give it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to give it a chance because I've been giving Tim Burton a chance my whole life.
Yeah.
Like the, and I mean, not to promote my own podcast, but I feel like,
No, promote it, bro.
the
That's why you're here.
the last time that he did any movie that was worth a damn was in 2005 with Big Fish.
Okay.
So even if this is him going back to his, hey, it's just member berries.
It is.
And you know what? I even passed on member berry. That's why I'm talking to you right now instead of going to see Ghostbusters Frozen Kingdom
I'm
or
out.
whatever it's
I'm
called.
out, dude. Like, okay, here we go.
I'm over with member berries.
I talked
right?
about this. I talked about this earlier at length with Rob and Dan at dinner. And actually, because we had this conversation through Messenger, I am very much done, I think, with most sequels, most rehashing, remakings.
Exactly.
When there's movies out there that like the past Oscar winners, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, or Parasite, or even The Shape of Water, which is super fucking weird, but like at least it's an original idea, right?
Exactly.
Give me weird. I don't care if it's weird. I want something new. And I have this exact same problem with video games. Everything seems like it's rehashed. I've experienced all this shit before. I know that there's more creative minds out there because I go to small shows and I see what minds are making.
Dude, I literally got a
stuff.
boner. I literally got like a movie boner watching a bunch of nerds sit and try and make the atomic bomb this year.
Man.
All right.
One of the best movies
Give
I've
me
seen.
original
ever.
thought. My second favorite movie was about a fucking doll that wasn't even made for me, but it was original at least. At least it wasn't, it wasn't Barbie Part 15 or Oppenheimer meets Wolverine or something.
Right.
Yeah, I'm totally with you about that.
Poor Things original idea. It's super weird.
I
It's
still need to watch that.
It's like Frankenstein, but like he's making super weird things. Like he literally put a baby's brain into an adult's body, and seeing that develop is it's just fun. And plus,
it's Yorgos Lanthimos. I get that.
Plus, Willem Dafoe is just goated, and so is Emma Stone. So,
well, yeah. Back to Yorgos Lanthimos. Again, self-promoting my podcast. We talked about that in The Favorite and how weird they were in The Favorite. But yeah.
Real quick, Josh says another movie with good practical effects was John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh, absolutely.
The
Thing and Jurassic Park
John
are amazing
Carpenter's
thanks to practical effects.
But we can't take credit for that. That came well before us, and that is such an amazing movie.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And Josh Russell says they actually shot most of the Thing prequel with practical effects, but then executives
and then
told
they
them
cut
to
it
throw
out because
the
they
footage and
wanted
replace it with CGI. Yeah.
It was, and then the practical effects company made their own movie. I forget what it's called. We should all buy that instead of, because you won't see what's her name in the remake.
So one more thing.
Ewan McGregor's wife.
I can't think of her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Thank you.
There we go.
One speaking of rehashes, but honestly, I'm excited for this one. Alien Romulus. What do you think? I thought the trailer actually looked really damn good. I
still haven't watched it.
When I found out that it was going to be a direct sequel to Prometheus, I was a little lukewarm on it because I was not that big on Prometheus. I thought it was okay. But, dude, the trailer looks really damn good. It looks like that. What was that Alien video game? It looks exactly like that.
Isolation.
It looks just like Alien Isolation.
No, because I haven't seen the trailer, but I heard about that it's being compared to Isolation.
It looks just like it, dude. It's great. It looks so fun. And if you are going to rehash it, at least make it fun, right?
Yeah, no, I get that. And also keep Ridley Scott far away from it. Because
he's jumped the shark, man.
He's the one that made Prometheus.
I know.
Which is the like
worst one in the whole series.
I
I'd rather watch Alien
it wasn't
versus
the worst.
Predators.
It wasn't the worst one in the whole series. The worst one in the whole series. And hold on. Let me just wait a second. Yeah, she's in bed. The worst one in the whole series was Alien 3.
Yeah.
The prison movie.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Josh
the one after that was good. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But like
he said, wait, hasn't Prometheus already had a sequel? I didn't see it because
Prometheus did technically have a sequel. It was called Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
That kind of made it work, as terrible as it was.
It wasn't a good movie.
I mean, I watched it in
theaters at midnight release.
Dude, I was there in IMAX and I was all for it. It was just full on H.R. Geiger. It was just basically H.R. Geiger in a Tool video.
It had a big cast too. Wasn't Danny McBride in that one?
No, Danny McBride was in Covenant. He was in the sequel, which tried to make Prometheus make sense.
That's what I was talking about. That's what
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just sitting there thinking about my waxing poetic about how I was watching Prometheus.
I actually saw both at midnight, Prometheus and Covenant.
You've seen twice as many movies at a midnight premiere than I have.
Listen, man,
I've only ever seen one. You want to guess what it was?
What?
Come on, guess it. Guess it. Come on, you can guess it.
Let's see. Revenge of the Sith?
Nope.
I don't know.
No! I saw the Simpsons movie.
Oh, that's hilarious.
At midnight. That was my only midnight release.
Huh. I didn't see that at midnight.
Well, you know what? It wasn't like you were missing anything.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's just more Simpsons. It is what it is. Wasn't anything special about it. It's just Simpsons. But no, I used to. So during college, and I didn't drink in college. So during college and after, like 2 years after college, I used to go, because that was still when they still did midnight releases then. They kind of stopped doing them after what, like 2015 probably.
Yeah, because now what they do is they're like, midnight releases. Like if the movie comes out on Friday, they released it on midnight on Wednesday.
Right.
Like you could have seen Dune Part 2 on a midnight show on Wednesday.
You know, they had a special screening for that. I actually got
on Monday.
I got a Fandango special screening announcement for that, but I couldn't go see it. It was on a Sunday, the Sunday before. I could have actually gone and seen it. Yeah.
So you could have seen the movie.
Could have seen it.
You could have seen it. Hey, I trade these.
Yeah, but I used to go literally everyone, like movies I didn't even care about, like Ice Age, just because there was nothing else to do, and I was a night owl back then. I used to stay up till like 3 o'clock in the morning every night.
Like much to my parents' chagrin, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I could go to college, I could go to my class, but I'm gonna go see a movie.
Yeah, no doubt. Josh says Prometheus is basically don't fucking touch that, the movie. Yeah,
exactly.
Nothing
oh my
happens,
God.
Dude. It's so fucking infuriating. Anyway,
it was literally I mean, as much as I would love, like, you know, because not that we did it on our podcast, but we all sat there, like at least the four of us, we all watched the actual movie Thanksgiving.
I haven't seen that yet.
The one that was from Grindhouse, where like the trailer.
I know the one. Yeah, I just haven't seen it
yet. Yeah, but like, part of me is still hoping that Don't gets made, the Edgar Wright movie. Was the trailer in that. Don't.
Oh, okay.
Like, don't touch that door. Don't go this way. It's either that or I feel like that's the one that's never going to be made compared to Werewolf Women of the SS, because Rob Zombie will make anything.
He will.
especially if his wife is involved. So
Yeah. Josh says I've only seen 2 movies at midnight premieres, to The Dark Knight and Green Lantern. I've seen both of those at midnight. The Dark Knight, and 2 completely different feelings about the movies too.
wait, which Josh is this? Do I know this?
Yeah,
Josh?
Grandison, Josh Grandison.
Oh my God, Josh, holy crap, man. All right. Hey, also hi. But oh my God. You actually went to midnight to see Green Lantern.
I did too, and I tell you what, I had high hopes for it despite the reviews, because first of all, I liked Ryan Reynolds, but secondly, I loved the Green Lantern, like some of the comics in the DC. I was very hyped for it. I thought we were going to get the Blackest Night, and which is one of the best comic iterations ever, to be honest. The Blackest Night's phenomenal. Just a great run.
Oh, Blackest Night is one that
Yeah.
and then I even cited that in a literary course in college. I was like, because I was an English major at the time, and we were talking about W.B. Yeats, and we were talking about this one story that he did where it was like about how all the dead will rise, and I'm like, well, shit, somebody's doing that right now with the Blackest Night.
Yeah.
And my professor was like, what? And I was like, let me go to the comic book store down the street so I can get you a hard copy. But back to the movie Green Lantern.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen, and the most disappointed I've ever been in a movie by far.
Literally, yes, that was literally the worst movie I've ever seen either, because my podcast co-host, she worked at a movie theater at the time.
Yeah.
She got me and her future husband, my other co-host, tickets. He and I got super high before we went there.
Okay.
We got free tickets. We walked in. I was halfway through it. I saw the Skarsgård guy with the big brain.
Mm-hmm.
He got the big brain, and then I was like, I was like, I want to leave.
Huh.
The tickets are free, and I was stoned.
and
I'm stoned off my ass. The tickets are free. I want to leave. This is bad.
Josh said some good things here. He said no one knew Green Lantern would be bad, in all caps, which is true. And he also said Jeff Johns was involved in the creation, which is also true. So that's why everyone had high hopes.
That is why I had high hopes as well, Josh. Because Geoff Johns, I mean, I was hoping he would be at the time. I was hoping he would be the Kevin Feige for DC.
Same. And then Sabrina says, I'm still wondering if they're going to do a Mickey Mouse horror film now that it's a free reign. Absolutely. We're going to see lots of weird stuff from that. And then Josh also says Green Lantern wasn't even enjoyable bad. It was just bad. Painful even thinking about watching it again. I would never watch that movie again, ever. You couldn't pay me enough money to watch that movie again.
I feel like if Josh were to watch it again, the Guardians from Oa would send a ring to Sector 2814 for Josh to make him the Green Lantern, because he has great willpower to withstand such terrible things. And I support that. I love Josh.
Yeah. No, dude, I would never watch that movie again. I'm with him on that. That's Jesus Christ.
But also, I'm also tired of Ryan Reynolds making fun of it.
Yeah.
So with Deadpool 2, where I was like, we get it. You made that movie and it was terrible.
Yeah.
So just shut up.
Find some different jokes. But yeah, to Sabrina's point, yeah, we're gonna get one. It didn't take very long to get Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which from what I've heard is one of the worst movies of all time. I refuse to watch that shit. But I'm sure.
You're thinking we're gonna get like Blood Boat Willie or something?
Something, yeah. Murder Boat Willie.
Hey, why don't we start writing it right now? That could be a Nerd Bites Quad Pro Quo collaboration. Blood Boat Willie, starring Bobby Riley as Blood Boat Willie.
And he actually, like, no one else is in the film. He just talks about murdering people.
He's just like, hey man, sometimes I'm gonna murder some people. I'm gonna chug a bunch of Monster Energy.
He just
drinks,
talks
and
about
I'm
how
just
he's gonna do it the whole movie. It's an hour and a
I'm
half of
totally
him
just gonna
talking
be
about
on a
doing it, and nothing
steamboat,
ever
and I'm
happens.
just on a steamboat rolling people. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh man, why aren't
Love
we
you,
movie
Bobby.
directors? Come on, we could do it. We could totally do it.
Yeah, I just sit there and be like, I would just sit there like Christopher Nolan and be like, yep, we're doing the practical thing over here. Or maybe I'd be like Martin Scorsese and be like, okay, this is what you're going to do. This is what you got to do. Just don't say the N-word. I get to say the N-word. Act.
Sabrina says y'all crazy. We know. So what?
Yeah,
so
we're certifiable, Sabrina. What do you want?
Before
what do
we
you want from me?
Before we end the show, I touched on it briefly last week with Katsorin, but she didn't watch it. And but the Oscars, man, this is one of the most satisfying Oscars I can remember.
Totally agree. I totally agree. Like, we were literally texting each other.
We are
messaging each other. Like, I give so much shit to like anybody that is like a Snyder bro.
Yeah.
Or I mean, but I also know I'm a Tarantino bro too. But like,
same.
but like, also, Nolan was the guy this year.
Finally.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I got in a fight with my brother's ex-girlfriend, who to him it's the one that he's like the one that got away, but she like on Letterboxd, because we follow each other on that now.
Yeah.
She was sitting there and she was like Greta Gerwig could have directed Oppenheimer, but Christopher Nolan couldn't have made Barbie.
I don't think either of those things are true.
Up. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to curse, but I'm just like, shut up.
No, you can curse.
Come on.
Doesn't matter.
I love Greta Gerwig too, but this was his year.
It was, and our boy Cillian Murphy, who I have adored since 28 Days Later, finally got his flowers. Finally got the love he deserves. What a fantastic fucking actor. I think
he is literally the first. I think he might be the first Irishman to win
Best Actor.
That's
awesome.
And I was so worried. No, because I was so worried because we just put it on because like Allie was sitting there and she's like, he might not win. I'm like, what do you mean he might not win? He was amazing.
He was.
Like, well, did you hear this thing about Paul Giamatti winning all these awards? We watched The Holdovers, and I watched it, and I'm like, are you telling me Paul Giamatti is going to rob my boy? He's going to rob the Scarecrow of his Oscar just because he had a lazy eye? Don't get me wrong.
I didn't watch.
If you haven't seen The Holdovers yet, it's a fun movie.
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my short list.
I mean, it was totally not like a Best Picture winner at all. It was a great Best Picture nominee.
Yeah.
And Paul Giamatti was great in it, but then again, the only person that should have won was the lady that did win. Her name, I don't remember her last name, but it's like Divine something.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, she won Best Supporting Actress. She was
gotcha.
At the time I was like, oh, was she gonna win? Because I keep hearing Emma Stone, and then Allie was like, no, she's going to get Best Supporting Actress. The toss up is between Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone from Killers of the Flower Moon, which we all know Emma Stone won.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was Nolan's year.
It was. Even though I think Spider-Verse was better, I was still happy that Miyazaki won because he's the oldest to do so, and that's awesome because Miyazaki deserves all the accolades.
I'm totally on that now. Like, thanks to you and thanks to Morgan and thanks to Bobby, I have been trying to watch Miyazaki movies at work. I'm getting paid to watch it. So I'll sit there and be like, yeah, that's some good cartoons.
How good is Spirited Away, by the way?
Spirited Away, out of the ones that I've watched so far, Spirited Away is my favorite. Princess, I don't remember how to.
Mononoke.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was it. That's a good second. I still haven't watched. The Totoro one.
Oh, My Neighbor Totoro. You gotta watch it.
You know what I'm gonna try to do? I'm gonna try and do this tomorrow because my wife and I, we get to watch our new. Well, she's not a newborn; she's a year old.
Gotcha.
We get to watch our niece tomorrow, so we'll be like, we're like, what do we do with the baby? And it's just like, oh, just hang out with her, play games and do this stuff.
Totoro would
like,
be a good
I'm
one.
gonna put a movie on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on some.
Totoro's good for all ages, for sure. It's just lighthearted and great movie. My kids are obsessed with it. Real quick, Sabrina said she didn't watch. She said cartoons ... with the slapping face emoji because it's definitely not cartoons, it's anime. And then Josh also says Robert Downey Jr. absolutely killed it, and Oppenheimer totally deserved the best supporting actor win.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Totally agree.
Totally.
He was amazing.
And same with Emma Stone, 100% deserved it. And I tell you what, I mentioned it I last week, but I literally teared up, like tears literally coming out of my eyes during her acceptance speech because it felt so genuine. Like she just seems like such a genuine person, and that's so refreshing.
Apparently, she was also drunk.
Well, that's fine. It just brings out your true feelings, right?
Yeah, because like the thing was, they were like while Poor Things was sweeping all the practical effects, which weren't rightfully should.
Yes.
I get that. They always kept cutting to her, but her chair wasn't there. It's because she was running out to the bar and whatever, it's whatever.
Hey, I'm just saying, she seems like a really, truly down to earth, genuine person. And like her acceptance speech was truly genuine, and I don't know, it was just refreshing, man. It wasn't like the same old like I want to thank blah 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 blah, right? Like she was truly shocked, and she truly felt gratitude, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah, because she probably was expecting on the Oscars to give it to
Killers of the Flower Moon chick,
to Lily Gladstone.
Lily Gladstone.
Which I haven't watched yet.
I haven't either.
It's so weird, as much as I love Nolan, I haven't watched it's also because I don't have any Apple products, so I can't watch Marty for free.
Same.
I'm not paying Marty the amount that I used to, because, inflation's a bitch.
Dude, it is, yeah, for sure. Sabrina says Emma Stone is one of those people you just want to hang out with. 100%.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And just like, you know what would be great? I would love to have just a drinking party or just like a hangout with Emma Stone.
Yeah.
And Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
And Cillian Murphy. And I guess John Krasinski has to be there
since he's married to Emily Blunt.
Yeah, to Emily Blunt. But
there's a short list of Hollywood people that feel like they'd be cool to hang out with, and I agree with you about Cillian Murphy. By the way, did you see his interview from 60 Minutes?
He's just like, I don't even care.
Yeah, dude, he was just like at the bar drinking with his homies. Like he's just a guy. Like it's great.
He's like, I'm just here. I don't even care.
The fact that he learned a bunch of Dutch for that scene in Oppenheimer, he learned it in a weekend. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
He learned it literally in a weekend for that scene.
But also, I don't mean to be one of those people. But again, my wife, she did interview Danny Boyle. She interviewed Danny Boyle for a thing. She went abroad for a random ass. She got to go watch Star Wars in England. At one of England's preeminent like theaters,
Yeah.
and she got to meet Danny Boyle, and she loves 28 Days Later. At the time, that was his biggest role at the time,
Yeah.
and she's like, so silly, and he's like, well, nope, it's Killian. His name is Killian.
Well, to be honest with you, I said Cillian for the longest time too.
No,
so.
I did as well.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm sitting there and I'm just being like, it's Killian.
Yeah, so happy. Like I said, with the Oscars this year, I know it probably is not going to be the same way next year because it's just,
hey, next year, unless Villeneuve is up for Dune Part 2,
we riot.
No. Well, I'm just saying, unless he's up for Dune Part 2, Greta Gerwig could make a movie where she's just sitting there saying, fuck you, Oscars. And then I'll be like, yes, Greta Gerwig. Like, I'm just saying, like.
Well, I mean, George Romano's.
No, she should have been nominated for Barbie. She should have.
She should have been, yeah, nominated for sure. Not one, in my opinion, but definitely nominated.
Yeah, not one because it was our boys' year this year.
Yeah.
But like, she made a movie that I didn't think I would care about.
Yeah.
But I love Barbie.
Well, you've got Mad Max Furiosa too. Maybe George Miller can get nominated for that too.
No, he's not. If he wasn't going to win for Fury Road, he's not winning for Furiosa.
He might. You never know. Furiosa looks amazing, dude. I'm excited.
It does. I mean, I am as well. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
As much as we were saying no more remakes, no more sequels, no more this. But then we'll sit there and be like, yes, but this though.
I know, but like there are select things that feel like it needs more, right? Like Mad Max is a huge universe. I feel like you need more Mad Max. Same with Dune.
And yes, and this isn't a and yes, like Furiosa isn't it's not like a continuation where it's like, yes, Batman's doing this and then Batman's doing that.
It's a different story.
Exactly. It's like, yes, we were introduced to Furiosa, but we're getting a whole new thing. Well, at least we know she's going to live the whole time.
Right. But nothing else. And like, that's honestly why I love Dune Part 2 so much, and even more than the first one, was because it just expanded so much on this universe that we've barely known anything about, right? And
well, if you haven't read the books.
If I haven't read, and I have not read the books, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but cinematically, we know
I'm just
very
gonna
little
stop
about
you right
it.
there. Do not read the books.
Do not read the Dune books.
Do not read the books unless you already have. And then just stop when Denis Villeneuve says, I'm done.
Which, but I guess he's ending with the third one.
If he does a part 3, and he does the next book, that will end the whole story of Paul.
Yeah.
And then just be done. You don't need to have anything after that.
If you can make an amazing trilogy, then that's all you need. But I just like how much it expanded on the universe. Like, there's so many cool things that it touched on. I was like, hell yeah, this is my shit.
Let him do a Dune trilogy, and then let him go back and do Blade Runner 2079.
Please.
Like, literally, when we back to Dune, like when my friends and I walked out of the theaters, we were like, they were all like, I like it. I'm like, it was my favorite sequel that Villeneuve did to his own stuff.
Sure, yeah.
But it's my second favorite sequel that he's ever done. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I agree. You know me, sci-fi's my shit. So like, Villeneuve he's such a heavy hitter in that genre. So of course I'm gonna love him. I want more sci-fi stuff. There's not enough of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all the time we have for tonight. Matt, thank you so much for coming on. It was fun
Sorry
talking with you per usual.
for the audio interruptions, but also to make Dustin happy
Oh,
about his
thank you.
to make Dustin happy about his Kentucky thing.
Sports ball.
I
Yeah, I didn't start the show with it, but I'm big sad because Kentucky lost in the NCAA tournament, and yeah.
I'm also big sad because there's no European football happening right now unless you count the international stuff. Nobody cares about that. But here,
Hey.
look, come on, Dustin. Dustin, you are one of the few people that ever get to see Shakiko after dark, and she's dancing right now. So just get happy.
Hey, everyone go get frisky on Banana Show. Banana Show after dark. And also, someone needs to break the poll because it's been tied for like 2 days.
I swear to God, if fucking that diabetes shilling motherfucking tiger beats the internet's mascot, I'd be so mad.
I'm about to just break it just so I don't have to look at it anymore. But
now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell McQuillan if he does not vote for Gritty, I will kick him. I will make Dakota's wish come true.
Oh God.
then I'll tell Dakota, I'm like, hey, vote for Gritty and I'll boot him out.
Oh my God. No, we're not booting anybody. But anyway.
No, I know.
Thanks so much, like I said, for coming on. Thanks for everyone who came in and chatted with us and hung out with us. We really appreciate it. Everyone go check out the
Gritty is awesome. Vote Gritty in the B-Shell mascot.
Everyone go check out the Quad Pro Quo podcast. And until next time, Matt.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy. Bye.
Go Gritty.